Good, bright, sunny, still a wintry field day from Nace, County Kildare. We're technically in summer, but it's freezing right now, and it's supposed to be down to -4 tonight, which I think is about 23 or 24 degrees in Celsius, so not feeling a whole lot like summer yet. It is the 5th of May, 2021, and happy anniversary to Matt and Michelle. I don't even know how many years it's been now, probably. Goodness. It must be getting close to 20 years of marriage, so happy anniversary to Matt and Michelle, and enjoy your special day. I want you to look with me at Hebrews chapter 12 this morning. I may have done this sometime in the last 14 months, but I just came across a passage this morning I thought I'd share might be a blessing to us. The author of Hebrews is writing, of course, to the Jews, basically giving them doctrine and principles for living in the church. And he comes down to chapter 12, and chapter 11 is called the Great Hall of Faith. We have all the examples of men of great faith, men and women of great faith in the Old Testament. And then he starts out verse 12 by saying, "Therefore we also, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses," and he's looking back and he says, we have these testimonies before us. We have these examples in the Old Testament of what they've gone through and been thrown to the lions and thrown in fiery furnaces and suffered and endured and carried on, and Abraham and Sarah waiting for a child, and he's talked about people being sawn in two, and he says these are the witnesses that are watching us today. Therefore he says, how should we live? He says, let us lay aside every weight and the sin that easily ensnares us. Let us run with patience the race that is set before us. Let us lay aside the weights that weigh us down. We carry too much baggage in our Christian lives. We carry too much with us. We carry too much burden and old stuff that we don't need to be carrying with us. Lay aside the sin that ensnares us. And the people talk about sin that we just can't deal with. And yet Paul, or whoever wrote the book of Hebrews, says here, let us lay those sins aside. Get rid of the weight when you're running. Get rid of the sins that you're trapping you. And he's got a picture in mind of a runner here. When runners are running, unless they're pulling a stunt, they don't pull on extra clothes. They don't pull on extra weight. I read a guy about a guy who ran a marathon in a deep sea diving outfit, the old-fashioned metal. People do that for a stunt. But basically, if you're going to run, you get rid of as much as you can get rid of and still be decent. They wear the lightest clothes, the lightest shoes. They find every gram is important to the runners. They get rid of everything they can get rid of and still run. That's what we're supposed to do as we live our life for Christ. And the picture of a marathon is the best one, because he said, let us run with patience the race that's set before us, so patience or endurance. It would be nice if the Christian life was just a whole bunch of series of 100-meter dashes, but it's not. It's a marathon. I have a friend who posted about when he did his first Ironman a few years ago, and he's doing a half Ironman coming up, and I can't even imagine. I can't even put together the concept of running all those miles and swimming all that distance and cycling all those miles. I can't even put that together. But it takes endurance. You have to realize you're going to keep going, so you have to know when to you don't use all your energy at once. You keep it stored up and you keep going and going and going. That's what the Christian life is meant to be. It's meant to be like a marathon. Run with patience the race that's set before you. And how do we do that? We look unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith. When you're running a marathon or you're striving to be an Ironman, you're looking for that badge or that commemoration at the end, recognizing that you're an Ironman. And I know people who've done that, and that's one of the things they're proud of, that they've finished the Ironman, and the goal before them was to finish. Some of them, of course, the goal is to finish first, but most people who run those races know they're not going to finish first, but they want to finish. And that's what we're called to do. But we have more than just a medallion to wear around our neck or a T-shirt or whatever. We have Jesus at the end. And I think it motivates us to keep going, keep our eyes on Jesus, because he's the beginner, the author, and the finisher. He's the beginner and the ender of our faith. He's the Alpha and the Omega of our faith. And what did he endure? For the joy that was set before him, endured the cross, despised the shame, and is set down at the right hand of God. When we get discouraged and we get down and we get tired and we want to quit and we've had enough and we're frustrated, and we sometimes get put out because God doesn't do the things exactly the same way we want, and people disappoint us, and churches disappoint us. We need to keep our eyes on one thing. Keep our eyes on Jesus Christ. Don't keep your eye on the other runners. Keep your eyes on Jesus. Keep looking to Him. He started our faith. He's going to finish our faith. That which He hath begun anew, He will perform it till the day of Jesus Christ. And just endure. Just stick it out. And I don't know what people are going through today. You may be going through a really tough time right now. Let me encourage you. Look to Jesus and keep running that race with patience. You don't have to be running a constant spurt. You don't have to be running, 10-second, 100 meters the whole time. You don't have to be running 4-minute miles for the whole marathon. Just keep plugging and plugging and plugging. Keep at it. Stay at it. Get rid of any weights or sins that you're carrying with you. Keep your eyes on Jesus and keep plugging away till you cross that finish line. Remembering His example. What was at the finish line for Him? Death on the cross. If He can, man, if that's the example of persistence, because if He knew after the death on the cross was the eternal joy of what would be accomplished, that He would have done God's will and drawn many to Himself. The reward is eternal. The reward's eternal for us. Run with patience and keep our eyes on Jesus.